Most parents think that the most loving thing they can do when their child is upset is ask, how does that make you feel? But what if that question is actually making things worse? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will completely change the way you show up for your kids. Here's what ancient wisdom has known for years. When we ask a child to focus on their feelings, we're actually feeding those feelings. We're pulling the child deeper inward, away from action, away from others, away from their purpose. And here's the question nobody's asking. What if the way we've been taught to help our kids is actually keeping them stuck? When a child is upset, whether it's anger, anxiety, sadness, or jealousy, and we immediately ask them to name it and explore the feeling, what we're really doing is shining a spotlight on it. And feelings, they love the spotlight. Feelings like anger, frustration, anxiety, jealousy, they have a tendency to expand when we give them all our attention. They distort reality. They isolate. They whisper to the child, this is everything. This is all there is. Now, I'm not saying we suppress the feelings. Absolutely not. We can let them sit with it for a few minutes. We can help them breathe, calm down, feel seen. But as soon as there's an opening, even a small one, we want to redirect their attention outward. Because here's the truth. Those feelings came as a messenger. They are not meant to be the destination. I want to ask you something right now. Think about your child. What is the emotion that shows up for them most often? Is it anger, anxiety, sadness? Keep that in mind, because by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly what to say to those feelings. Coming up, I'm going to give you the exact words to use for each one of those emotions. Don't go anywhere. Here's something I find fascinating and something I work on deeply in my programs. Every person, every child has an emotional tendency, a default feeling that comes up for them again and again throughout their life, more than any other emotion. Some children have a tendency towards sadness, some towards anxiety, some towards anger. And if we let that tendency run the show, if we let that feeling stay too long, grow too big, it starts to become bigger than the child can handle. It becomes their identity instead of their signal. But here's the gift inside of this. That same tendency, that emotional pattern, it actually holds a clue to your child's deepest strength, even their calling in life. I'll come back to that at the end of this video, because it is the most important thing I want to leave you with today. But first, let's get practical, because knowing this is one thing, knowing what to actually say in the moment, that's what changes everything. Let's go. Let's take anger, for example. When anger shows up, instead of asking, how does that make you feel? Say, I can see you're really angry right now. That makes sense. Let's take a few breaths together. Okay, now, what is one thing you can do about this? Or, what do you think this anger is trying to tell you? You're honoring the feeling and turning it into information. Anger is often a signal that a boundary has been crossed, that something feels unfair. Help your child to use this as a compass, not as a cage. When anxiety shows up, instead of, tell me all the things you're worried about, say, your brain is trying to protect you right now. It's doing its job. What's one thing in front of you right now that you can handle? Or, what would you tell your best friend if they felt this way? Anxiety pulls inwards and magnifies the threat. These questions move your child outward, towards agency, towards others, towards action. When sadness shows up, instead of, why are you so sad? Say, it's okay to feel sad. I'm right here with you. Sit with them 2 to 3 minutes. No words are needed. Then, when there's an opening, ask, is there someone you'd like to reach out to today? Or something kind you could do for someone. Sadness, when it's met with connection and then redirected towards others, it transforms. It becomes depth. It becomes one of the greatest gifts a person can offer to the world. Which of these three, anger, anxiety, or sadness, do you see most often in your child? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single comment. Now, here's what I want to leave you with today. The feelings your child struggles with the most, those aren't random. They're not obstacles. They are arrows pointing towards something. A child who feels things deeply, whose emotions rise fast and feel enormous. That child has something extraordinary inside of them. The question is whether we help them harness it or whether we let it run wild. When we orient our children towards action, towards learning, towards doing for others, we're not just managing emotions. We are building their character. We are teaching them that their inner world is something they can work with, not something that controls them. If this resonates with you, if you're sitting there thinking, I want to understand my child on a deeper level, not just survive the hard moments, but actually help them discover who they are, then I want to invite you into something. I have a 4-part online workshop called From Challenge to Calling. In this workshop, we go much deeper than we did today. We explore how your child's emotional tendencies, yes, even the ones that drive you crazy, are actually clues to their deepest life work, their calling, and how you as a parent can learn to recognize and nurture that starting right now. The link to join is in the description below. And before you go, if you want to understand on a deeper level why validating every emotion is making things worse, check out another episode where I talk exactly about that. You can find the link right here. I'll see you there.